so much grief, like it nothing.
Respected viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our show Ziyarah Al-Arba'een 1438 with me, your host Ahmed Ali. I would like to begin by a narration by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, where he states, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write a good deed for the individual who leaves his home to perform the ziyarah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on foot, and he will erase a sin from him for every step he takes towards the holy grave of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It is a blessed opportunity to be amongst the walkers. We are live from Karbala, but yet my brother Hussein Sukhni on the way from Najaf to Karbala, reporting and providing you with footages of what the pilgrims are doing, how far they are walking, and alhamdulillah, Imam Hussein TV, they're providing live footages across the day. So it's a blessing to see how the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, especially the lovers of Imam al-Hussein, how they flock with dedication. I mean, to see when people say it's the largest human gathering ever to be, 30 million in a city so small that 2 million will pack the whole city, but yet it's a miracle that a city like Karbala, so small, can hold 30 million. This year they're expecting above 30 million, but inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala arrive every single pilgrim, every single za'ir, every single individual who has come to Karbala safely, and may he return them safely. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam also states that it's a continuation from the previous narration, the one who comes to the ziyarah, a sin will be erased from him for every step that he takes. And after, when he arrives at the shrine and he decides to leave back to his home, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send thousands and thousands of angels upon him to protect him from when he leaves the shrine up until he arrives home. So this goes out to you, the Zuwar of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, is that despite if you think it's day or night, and if you think that you're alone, you're never alone, because Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam are with you, the prophets are with you, and you are protected by the angels. So we honor you, but we are going to go live from the camp with my brother Hussein Sukhni. Salamun alaikum, brother. Salamun alaikum, brother Hussein.
Now, I'm out in the field, I'm out walking alongside the blessed Zuwar of Imam al-Hussein in this holy pilgrimage, this divine pilgrimage to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. And truly it is a breathtaking experience just be standing alongside them.
It is.
Let alone partaking in the experience. Walking alongside them, you can see they are crawling to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein with 10 days till Arbaeen. Now personally, when I come every year, I don't see it this packed 10 days before Arbaeen, especially on this road. Usually 5, 6, 7 days max before Arbaeen starts getting busy. But alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, you can see the thousands and the thousands, in fact millions of Zuwar calling to Imam al-Hussein. And that's not even thinking about those coming from the south, those coming from Baghdad, those coming from Hilla. This road is just from Najaf. So just imagine how many millions of people there are coming from all directions, crawling to Karbala, knowing the position of the Imam, knowing the qualities of of the Zuwar of Imam al-Hussein and the blessings and the benefits of walking to Imam al-Hussein. Truly, it is no small deed. As the ayah in the Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ذلك ومن يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. Those who revive the rituals of Allah, truly it is from the piety of the hearts. And we know that the sha'a'ir of Imam al-Hussein and the sha'a'ir of the Ahlul Bayt are the sha'a'ir and the rituals of Allah. So essentially, by reviving the rituals of the Ahlul Bayt and Imam al-Hussein, we are reviving the rituals of Allah. So we look at what the Ahlul Bayt taught us. We look at the riwayat and the ahadith of the Ahlul Bayt, and then we apply it in this day and age, and then truly we will be showered with the blessings of Allah and the Ahlul Bayt, because we are reviving his rituals. Also, a riwayah tells us that, visiting the one who visits Imam al-Hussein in Karbala, it is as if he has visited Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on his throne, on his arish. Now this alone is enough. Like, no more should be added if wanting to prove the authenticity of walking to Imam al-Hussein. But it truly is enough that we are asking Imam al-Hussein for this chance to walk to him without wanting anything in return, even though he knows what is in our hearts, he knows what we want. But we want to know what Imam al-Hussein asks of us. Imam al-Hussein gives us the energy and the health to walk to him. Alhamdulillah, many of the Zuwar are in good health, but you see many scenarios where a crippled man is crawling to Imam Hussein. I saw 3 days ago, in fact, on the way from Basra, a man who had no legs and one arm. Honestly, I saw this with my own 2 eyes. It wasn't relayed onto me, it wasn't a story told by someone. I saw this with my own 2 eyes. A man with no legs, they were cut off, with one hand, one arm. He was sitting in a basket and dragging himself to Imam al-Hussein. Now, a healthy man will take 2.5 weeks to walk to Imam al-Hussein from Basra. But a crippled man in that state, when Allah knows the pain he's going through and the time it will take him to reach Karbala, but this man truly has something in his heart that has pushed him to come to Imam al-Hussein. Now, I'm sure you guys, Ahmed, you in the studio, are looking at the Zuwar, the millions of pilgrims, doing tawaf around the shrines of Abu Fadl al-Abbas and Imam al-Hussein, flocking to them with their needs, with pain in their hearts, yearning for their souls to fly. You can see now from the studio what I'm talking about. The Zuwar, they come, they arrive there, and you see the relief in their eyes, you see the relief in their faces that they have accomplished what they set out to do, just to gaze upon the shrine and upon the dome of Imam al-Hussein. That one look is enough to fulfill a lifetime of pain, to relieve yourself from a lifetime of pain. In fact, many of the Zuwar, when they do come, they don't stay a night. They don't stay for 2, 3, 4 nights. They come, they look at the shrine, they do their ziyarah outside the shrine, and they head home. That's all they want. That's all they ask from Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Now, on that note, I send it over back to you, Ahmed, and inshallah you can tell the world what you are seeing from your end in the studio. Back to you, our brother.
Thank you, Brother Hussein. I mean, it was a huge blessing to see what you were in. But you mentioned, of what I'm jotted down, you've mentioned approximately 6 points. Walking and visiting the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what really touched my heart is the story of the person dragging himself who had 2 legs, who didn't have, both legs were amputated as well as one arm. It reminds us of when the Shia, when they were going through the time of bin al-Abbas, may Allah curse them, upon the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, especially Imam al-Askari, he says the most difficult time for our Shia was during bin al-Abbas, especially al-Mutawakkil al-Abbasi and al-Mahdi al-Abbasi, because they made like a taxation upon the visitors of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, different from now, where Karbala offers pilgrims, absolutely, it's amazing. I'll get to touch upon it. But the story goes is that they place a taxation. You have to pay a certain amount of money, a huge amount of money, to come visit Imam Hussein alayhi salam. People were taking loans to go visit Imam Hussein. People were saving up the entire year just to visit Imam al-Hussein once during Arbaeen. When they saw that a lot of people were doing this, they took it further. They said, we'll double the amount. And people, the same thing, they flocked. It doesn't matter how much they pay. They flocked towards Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The next year, they said, we'll cut off one leg for every pilgrim that walks. They said, welcome. As they walked, one leg would be cut off. They got to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Nothing stopped them. The next year, they said 2 legs. The year after, they said 2 legs and 1 arm. And that never stopped the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam to flock towards their master, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. A slogan came out back then, Wallah law qatta'u al-arjula wal-yadayn na'tika zahfan sayyid ya Hussein. By Allah, if they amputate our legs and our arms, we will come to you crawling, O Hussein. And that's what we see amongst the pilgrims of Hussein alayhi salam. But as my brother Hussein mentioned, it's 10 days prior to Arbaeen, and usually in Karbala, the streets aren't this crowded. 2 days ago they were really crowded, and yesterday, especially Laylat al-Jum'ah in Karbala, it was packed. You cannot place 1 foot inside Bayn al-Haramain. But right now, it's really packed. Yeah, it's amazing to see that 10 days prior to Arbaeen, millions and millions of people coming to Karbala during this blessed occasion. But another point that Brother Hussein, before we go to him, he mentioned renewing our oath with Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, especially with the Imam of our time. When we walk to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, that one day, it's first, it enhances your spirituality. Second, you become fit. Walking for 24 hours or walking for 2 days, it's good for health. But when you come to Karbala, keep one thing in mind, is that Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, is joining you in your walk. You got to keep that in mind, is that you don't know who you bump into. You don't know who you run into. You don't know if that person you saw that really caught your eye was Imam al-Mahdi or not. So we need to keep Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, on our minds and in our hearts when we come for the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein during Arbaeen. But we'll go back to my brother Hussein, who is on the road between Najaf and Karbala, approximately 10 kilometers away from Karbala. So we'll
Thank you
go
again, brother
to him,
Ahmed.
see what he has to say and what
as
he
you can
has
see
to
behind
provide
me,
us, from the atmosphere outside the
there's
skirts
a
of
higher
Karbala.
view, so now you can see across the Mashaya walk, and you can see how far back the Zuwar are going. You can see, of course, this road is the road from Najaf, so imagine this whole straight road to the shrine of Amir al-Mu'mineen. May my life be a sacrifice to him. And of course, pictures and videos do speak louder than words, and you can see for yourself the people. Honestly, there's not much I can say, but if the world looks at this, they think, many people tell me, look, are you insane? You walk for days and days and days on end to reach Karbala. Why? We say our insanity for Hussein is proof of our sanity. This love This love for Hussein is what has driven us to walk these hundreds and hundreds of kilometers and miles to reach the master of the martyrs, the master of our souls, Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Now people ask, why don't you walk to the other Imams, to the other Ma'soomeen, on their Shahadas, for example, on their 40th? We say each Imam, each Ma'soom has their status. Each Imam has something that we offer to them. But this khususiyya, this is specific to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, because the sacrifice of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein on the day of Ashura in Karbala, everything that happened that day is Islam. Every lesson of Islam was taught on that day. Whichever lesson you think about, whichever lesson you want to take, you can take from Karbala. Lessons of bravery, lessons of honor, lessons of hijab, lessons of akhlaq. Every lesson was taught on that day by Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, his family and his companions. Now we take those lessons and we apply it to our lives, and we truly will be those who are victorious in the dunya and in the akhirah, because Islam revolves around Ashura. It revolves around the tears of Zainab that was shed while she was watching her brother Imam al-Hussein. I don't want to go deep into it, but truly it is something that it is hard to say. It is hard to speak about what happened in Karbala. But the blood that was spilt in Karbala, that blood is what the world depended on to run, because truly that was Dhibh al-Azim. Truly that was the sacrifice that kept these people, kept Islam in these people's hearts alive, because without that sacrifice there would not be Islam. I'm sure our viewers can see the Zuwar behind me now, and they can connect with them, and inshallah they will be coming in the next few days, because many of our friends, many of our family members will be coming from the west inshallah in the next couple of days, and they will begin the walk. They will begin the walk from Abi Abdullah al-Hussein in the next couple of days, and they will make their way to Karbala, and we will inshallah meet them along the way and hopefully be at their service, because it is an honor to be at the service of the Zuwar of Imam al-Hussein. So back to you, Brother Ahmed, but thank you for giving me this opportunity to show the world of what is happening here on the path to Karbala. Back to you, brother.
Thank you very much, Brother Hussein. It was an honor to get the footages from where you are standing right now. But Brother Hussein mentioned something very nice, is that the people who are sitting at home are watching this and really wish that they were, participating in this march, and some of them were unable. Today I received a few calls of brothers from Canada and from the US who were unable to come to Karbala for Arbaeen, yet they said, mention us in your du'as, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the chance, not this year but maybe the next year inshallah, to come to Hussein alayhi salam. And also in the upcoming nights inshallah we have Sheikh Muntadhar al-Karbala'i, who will join us in our discussions at this time and probably during the night time. But Arbaeen, the time where we get the opportunity to walk to our master Imam Hussein and remember Zainab, remember Sakina, remember Rabab, remember Layla, remember the family of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Right now you can see 3 live footages. One's from Imam Hussein camp on the way from Najaf to Karbala. You can see from the holy shrine of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, the commander of the faithful. And you can see that yes, there are pilgrims at the holy shrine of Imam Ali, but compare between the holy city of Najaf and the holy city of Karbala. Arbaeen, Brother Hussein mentioned, for every Imam, there's a special offering you offer to them. But Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam was the Imam that sacrificed although the other Imams did sacrifice, and they sacrificed all of their lives, but Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam took the next step into sacrifice, where he sacrificed everything he had, including his 6-month-old baby. This is why when we walk, we should keep those individuals in our mind, because the mother of that 6-month individual walked to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Ar-Rabab, according to various narrations, Ar-Rabab stayed near the shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam for a whole year, until she moved back to Medina. And other narrations, when the caravan of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam were approaching Karbala, a unique smell was coming from Karbala. Some individuals, and I've personally heard this, people when they just reach the borders of Karbala, they say the atmosphere changes, the scent, the fragrance changes all of a sudden. Although you're just going to a different city, but yet they say our spirituality, our self-esteem uplifts, everything that's about us. We feel good when we enter Karbala. It's because this is the land of freedom. This is the land of sacrifice. Karbala, as Imam Sadiq alayhi salam describes it, it's a land that has descended from the highest level of paradise upon this earth. So when individuals try to mock us for walking hundreds and hundreds, some people walk from Pakistan, trust me, from Pakistan, thousands of miles, from Iran, from Kuwait, from every country that borders Iraq, people come from there walking to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So when people try to mock us for walking hundreds or thousands of miles to a person who died 1400 years ago, we tell them that these ignorant mocks that you place towards us, if you go and look at the individual, any person who loves someone would sacrifice everything they have for that individual. But if that individual sacrifices everything they have for us, how should we reward that individual? Should we just stay at home, don't even remember him, don't even call out his name? If we do that, that's a disservice for the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. But if we do remember them, we are the individuals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad prophesied about. Prophet Muhammad said to Fatima Ziyarah alayhi salam, O Fatima, when Fatima asked, who will mourn over my son, O father? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa wasallam said to his daughter, he said, O Fatima, Allah has created, not will create, has created Shia who will mourn, who will weep, who will lament, who will chant the name of Hussein. They are my brothers. When the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, are we your brothers? He said, no. My brothers are individuals who will come at the end of time. They will believe in me, ink on paper. They just know the name Muhammad. They know the name Ali. They know the name of Fatima, the names of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and they believe in us. Those are my brothers. So I congratulate you, the Ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, for you are the brothers and the sisters of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Because the individual who walks one step towards Hussein alayhi salam, a sin is removed, a deed is recorded, and that sin will turn a deed. So it's 3 rewards that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rewarding you with. So I do envy every single individual walking from Najaf to Karbala. But inshallah, we'll go to Brother Hussein once again to see what he has in addition for us, so he can, tell us what's going on. So over to you, Brother Hussein.
Thank you very much, Brother Ahmed. You can see me now standing next to one of the cameras that are covering the walk to the King of Kings, the Master of the Martyrs, Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Now I'm standing here to point out something very vital. Media and the name of Imam al-Hussein is one of the most vital things anyone could be doing right now, because this walk, well, Imam al-Hussein doesn't depend on anyone. He doesn't need anyone. We are all in need of him. There is, like, if we all disappeared, the message of Imam al-Hussein will still be there. His sacrifice would have still done what he set out to do, because it was a divine sacrifice. But at the same time, it is our duty to show the world what is happening here and now. This crawl of the millions, this march of the millions, is something that the world truly needs to see. Because if the world knew about this, if the world knew about what Abu Abdullah has sacrificed, then maybe there wouldn't be this many wars, maybe there wouldn't be as much poverty, maybe people would be more kind to one another, maybe people would rise up against dhulm, against dictatorship, against oppression. So it's our duty to show the world what is happening today. And maybe if we all take the lessons of this march of the millions and the lessons of Karbala, maybe the Imam of our time, may Allah hasten his reappearance, maybe he will come back to us. Maybe then he will see that we are ready for his reappearance. So we say, Allahumma ajjilu ilayka al-faraj.
Ameen.
And maybe we will be one of his Ansar, one of his companions,
Inshallah.
if we are granted this opportunity. So thank you, Brother Ahmed, for giving me this opportunity again to express to the world what we are doing here, to express to the world that this is a Husseini mission that we want everyone to take part in, because this mission to show the world that Imam Hussein unites us, and truly he does unite us under the banner of the Labbaik Ya Hussein, which is the banner of La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah Aliyun Waliyullah. So back to you, Brother Ahmed, and thank you very much to you and our viewers.
Hussein unites us. Very beautiful, Brother Hussein. Amazing words you just gave us right there. But I would like to say that it's the final part from Hussein from today's live show. But I would like to say one thing, is that for every century, if you look through history, for every century you'll find every single person who came to power in Iraq or elsewhere surrounding Iraq, they always fought the pilgrims or fought the rituals of Allah. And the greatest ritual of Allah is walking towards the holy shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. During Arbaeen, Saddam, he fought the pilgrims. Outwards, he put it out there that I hate Shia, I hate Imam Hussein, I hate everyone that walks to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He fought it, but he couldn't stop it. Personally, I know people that have come to Karbala from various cities, and they go through the gardens, they go through various forests up until they get to Karbala in the secret before Saddam. And way back you have the Abbasids, before that you had the Umayyads who fought the Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. I tried so hard to stop the march to Hussein, but no one could stop the march to Hussein. Because, and why are they so scared? for many years, I thought to myself, why were they so scared? Yet I came to that moment of realization that whenever the name Hussein is mentioned, or whenever, if you remember someone, you always think of the stuff that they did. When we remember Hussein, we remember his stand, his ultimate sacrifice, his ultimate revolution for humanity, for freedom, for liberation, whatever you want to call it. So the corrupt rulers didn't want anyone to walk to Hussein or remember the name of Imam al-Hussein, so they wouldn't rebel against their corrupt governments. That's why they tried to dig a hole and throw Imam Hussein in that hole. But yet, the light of Allah has to prevail, and the two beautiful domes, the beautiful dome of Abu al-Fadl Abbas right behind me, the two minarets, the beautiful dome of Abu al-Fadl, the master of martyrs, Imam al-Hussein, shines like a bright star that no one can cover it. And that's why Imam al-Hussein and his legacy transcended time after time, generations after generations. And that's what's beautiful about Karbala, and what's beautiful about Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. I would like to conclude by one narration. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, he states that if an individual, when they reach Karbala, who will welcome them? Fatima al-Zahra will welcome the pilgrims. Rasulullah will welcome the pilgrims. Imam al-Hasan and the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam will welcome the pilgrims. Who is walking among them? It's Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance. He caters for their care, he caters for their food, he serves in the mawakib, yet we don't know. We don't have that full cognizant understanding of the Imam. That's why we cannot see him. But yet the Imams of Ahlul Bayt and Rasulullah welcome the pilgrim. 124,000 prophets welcome the pilgrims of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and they are protected by the angels. So lastly, I would like to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect the pilgrims of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, to always, and I request from them, is to always keep us in their du'as, because the du'a under the dome of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, according to the narration by Imam al-Sadiq and Imam al-Baqir, they say that the supplication under the dome of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is 100% accepted. So I would like to ask from every single Za'ir, every single individual that puts up his hand and calls Ya Hussein, to always remember us in their du'as. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Do stay tuned for tonight's show. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.